guys, I just wanted to come on here and talk about this particular case. Many of you guys know we watched the trial for Alex Murdaugh, the photo you see right here. And I want to take you back just a tad, if I may. And I was actually looking for Alex Murdaugh's arrest during trial. You guys remember the arrest? He was arrested again for bringing contraband into the jail. And so while I was looking here, I didn't see any 2023 charges on here. So I figured I would look in Colleton County to see if maybe there was an arrest record for that particular event, since he was arrested on a misdemeanor of introducing contraband to the jail. And so it brought me to their website, which I actually went to and did a current inmate search, which when I did, this was the only Murdaugh that popped up in the inmate search for Colleton County. So I'm like, oh my goodness, did he go to Hampton County? Is it possible he went to Hampton County since he has the financial crimes? So I reached out to Hampton County and did not find anything and decided to do another search, which led me here. And of course, I went to the spot, and sure enough, South Carolina Department of Corrections states that Alex Murdaugh is now being evaluated at the Kirkland Reception and Evaluation Center in Columbia. So he's been tried and convicted for the murder of his wife Maggie Murdaugh and his son Paul Murdaugh. A few things that I noticed right off the bat is they shaved his head. His head that he once had is now shaved. He is in prison uniform, and he's heading off to maximum state or maximum security prison. For whatever reason, I don't think I was even paying attention that they would be rushing him right off to prison, because he's got many other charges and trials that are coming down the pike related to the financial aspect, the whole entire scenario related to his insurance scheme, where the roadside shooting, the foiled suicide plot, and everything like that. So I thought they would stick around for, resource wise, it'd be easier just to keep him in the county lockup, yada yada yada. But they took him right off. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of it. So I have nothing but just, it's crazy for me. So here it is. He's arrived at the Kirkland Reception. So what did I do? I actually thought, well, if he's there, this looks like he arrived March 3rd. It's been 11 days. Certainly they've had enough time to assess him, to assign him a permanent maximum security prison. So I started to do the searches on that, and, I found this with the South Carolina, again, March 3rd, but I did want to read this to the audience. Richard Alexander Murdaugh will be processed into the South Carolina Department of Corrections today when he arrives at Kirkland Reception and Evaluation Center in Columbia. SCDC processes all male inmates into its system at Kirkland. As part of the intake process, like all inmates, he will undergo medical testing, mental health and education assessments, and SCDC will gather other additional background information. Next, the South Carolina Department of Corrections inmate classification system will follow the same process it follows all inmates. Evaluate the results of the test, assessments, and screening administered to him, taking into account his crime and sentence, and use all of this information to assign the inmate to a specific custody level in prison. This evaluation process takes about 45 days. After the process is complete, he will be sent one of the South Carolina Department of Corrections maximum security prisons, like all new inmates serving life sentences. You can find information about the SCDC classification plan here, which explains in detail about the factors considered in processing inmates. A shorter synopsis can be found here. So I thought this was interesting. So we're going to go to that. I don't know where it popped up at, but I'm assuming it popped up here. So here's a parsed down inmate reclassification. This is from the South Carolina Department of Corrections. Is changing the way it classifies inmates, which determines where the inmate is housed. The new system places a high value on behavior and is based on points which determine the inmate's custody level. The basics, point system. New inmates and inmates who have been in the South Carolina Detention Center custody for fewer than 12 months receive points for a variety of factors, including age, education level, current and prior offenses, escape history, assaultive history on inmates or staff, and gang affiliations. After serving 12 months, the system begins placing a higher value on behavior rather than convicted offenses and background. Inmates who have been in the SCDC custody for longer than 12 months have 2 additional categories that are also considered: disciplinary history and participation in work and or programs. Custody level. As part of the process, SCDC is changing the way it's described as custody level. Now institutions are describing levels 1, 2, and 3. Going forward, level 1 will be referred to as minimum custody. Level 2 will be medium custody, and level 3 will become close custody. Projections. Projections show a large increase of number of inmates who will be advocating for a lower custody level. That means SCDC will need to change the custody levels from some institutions. Those decisions are being made now. The number of inmates in level 3 close custody is expected to drop dramatically. This will enable SCDC to move those inmates to a single cell housing plan, which will increase the safety for both officers and inmates. The number of inmates in level 1 minimum custody is expected to rise. This will enable more inmates to work and learn trade skills. Sentences. The new classification system changes where an inmate serves his time can affect his ability to earn a high level of work credits, which can result in an earlier release date. It does not reduce sentences. Only the courts can do that. So there's a lot of information here. I'm just going to stop there, but there is 2 pages, and you can find that at doc.sc.gov/family/inmate_reclassification. So there you guys have that. So at any rate, that's what brought me over here to this. So I was looking in the State Department of Corrections, and of course we did find the post about Alex Murdaugh over there, and it led me to the South Carolina Department of Corrections inmate search, which I did click on this, and it brought me here to this page, the inmate search detail. Again, one of the first things that I noticed is he's in prison orange. His head is shaved, and he is still at Kirkland. And as we read in that letter, he should be here at Kirkland while they do all these tests on him to assign him to a maximum security prison somewhere inside South Carolina within 45 days. So we don't know where he is going to end up, but we did find out this information. So he has a Department of Corrections number at this point. He is being processed at Kirkland, and I just thought this was interesting because I was not paying attention that he had been transferred, and I thought maybe this would be interesting to my audience as well. So God bless each and every one of you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another.